If you don't like beans, you're probably cooking them wrong. Today, we're breaking down dried versus canned beans and sharing a step-by-step guide for how to cook them properly, and showcasing 2 recipes that make beans the star of the plate. I'm Anna Hymers, a Red Seal chef and proud bean enthusiast. For the last 7 years, I've been exploring the ins and outs of pulses as a food research technician at the Prairie Research Kitchen. I'm here to bring beans back into the limelight. Hey-o. Quick, easy, elevated, affordable. By the end of this video, you'll want to add beans to your menu. Beans, beans, magical fruit. The more you eat them, the more you're gonna want to eat them. Dry beans are incredibly affordable, but a lot of people shy away from using them because they think they're hard to cook. There's nothing difficult about cooking beans, they just require a little bit of planning. The main reason I like to use dried beans is control. I get to control the salt content, the flavor profile, and the doneness of the beans. And the key to all of that is a simple 2% salt brine. Brining will not only help flavor them all the way through, it helps them cook up creamy on the inside while keeping the skin intact. And it actually reduces the overall cook time. So we've got our 1 cup of dried beans in our salt brine. We let that soak for about 8 hours. I leave it overnight, and during that time, your beans should likely double in size, if not more. And here's where I get to do a little myth busting. Some people might have been taught to soak their beans in vinegar, but our research shows that vinegar has the opposite effect of salt. It actually makes your beans firmer and prolongs the cooking process. So it's time to cook your beans. Just strain them and give them a little rinse in some cold water. That's what I've done here, and we've got them going in a pot of hot water. So the key here is, we're often tempted to try and speed up the cooking process by increasing the temperature and cooking them at a rolling boil. Beans don't really like that. They like a more gentle simmer. So a slow simmer keeps the skins intact while the centers become soft and creamy. And if you're a food science nerd like me, the water should be precisely 96 degrees Celsius, but it's also totally cool just to eyeball it. If you want to build flavor, you can add onions, garlic, spices, herbs directly to your pot. However, if you're gonna be adding them to baking or smoothies, maybe leave the onions and garlic out. After about 45 to 60 minutes, these beans will have the creamy texture we're looking for. I'm using the terms beans and pulses a lot, so let's clear that up. Are they the same thing? A pulse is the dried seed of a legume plant. That includes chickpeas, lentils, beans, and peas. It comes from the Latin word pulse, meaning thick soup, which was a household staple in ancient Rome made from these nutritious seeds. So all beans are pulses, but not all pulses are beans. In agriculture and food production, these crops are most commonly referred to as pulses. For instance, today's video is sponsored by the Manitoba Pulse and Soybean Growers. We are proud to partner with organizations like MPSG to show you Manitoba food from every angle, from where food begins to how it's shared through recipes, YouTube cooking videos, and stories that connect you to Manitoba farmers. The best thing about cooking dried beans is they may take a bit of upfront prep, but now that we've cooked a batch, they freeze really well. So I just divvy them up into about half-cup portions and freeze them. These make awesome additions to whether you're making, soup or tacos or pasta. I love to use them as a meat extender in meatloaf or hamburgers. You can also puree them and add them to just about anything, including baking and smoothies for added nutrition. We've got a step-by-step instructional for how to make a bean puree on our website. Beyond their versatility, the benefit of adding just a half a cup serving of pulses per day to your diet has been shown to have a positive effect on diabetes, heart disease, and weight control. Beans offer a great source of protein, fiber, and complex carbohydrates. Affordable, versatile, and incredibly nourishing, beans really did understand the assignment. So we've got these cooked beans now. I'm gonna make a delicious hummus style spread. Yeah, that's totally right. You can make hummus with any bean, not just chickpeas. So our cooked beans, we're going into the blender with them, okay? Boom. We've got tahini. Now tahini is basically a sesame paste. It's basically peanut butter, but with sesame seeds. So I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons here. Fresh lemon juice. These measurements are definitely on our website, but I always will encourage you to measure with your heart. As long as you kind of keep, the liquids around the same amount, because you don't want anything too liquidy or too thick. So we just added a bit of garlic as well. Cumin. Cumin is going to add a really nice, beautiful, punchy flavor. Of course, some salt. And last but not least, I'm actually going to add a bit of ice cold water with a few ice cubes in it, okay? This is going to help get really, really creamy while staying nice and cold. And you notice I didn't even have to add any oil to this. You'll see a lot of store-bought hummuses that contain oil. That's what makes this really, really healthy. It's just got the creaminess from the beans, and it kind of loosens up with a bit of that water. Beautifully creamy. At this point, you can adjust for seasoning if you want as well. Let's just give this guy a try. You get that nutty, kind of toasty nuttiness from the tahini, but that creaminess comes through from the beans. It's so delicious, and it works just like any hummus would. I need a bean dance. I don't have a bean dance. Canned beans are also a fine option when you need something quick and easy, or if you realize you've forgotten to soak your beans overnight. The important part is to drain and rinse them, because canned beans often contain sodium as a preservative, and you don't want that to overseason your dish. Today, I'm using a can of good old bean medley, but this salad would work equally well with chickpeas or any combination of beans you'll like. So we've got our beans here, drained, rinsed. To the beans, we're gonna add some vegetables. It doesn't get much easier than chop and dump. So I've got a mixture of red and green bell pepper. So I've got a cup of cucumber. I've also chopped them to be similar sizes. So you can kind of chop in whatever size you want, but I like keeping it pretty uniform here. And of course, we got our cherry toms. Now, this is something this is a preference, but red onion, I like a little nice sliver, so it just kind of seasons everything without being overpowering. That's all the vegetables that go in there. Now we're gonna blitz up our creamy feta vinaigrette in the food processor. This vinaigrette is super, super easy. So we've got fresh lemon juice. We've got some garlic. It's a small amount. Again, you can put as much as you want in here. We're gonna use a little bit of Dijon. We've got a bit of oregano, we've got our salt and pepper, and we've got fresh feta that I've crumbled here. So we're just gonna give this a little blitz to get all this part mixed up. Now we're just gonna slowly drizzle in some canola oil. Open her up, and it's gonna be nice and creamy. Look at that. You can taste this now, and you can adjust seasoning as you see fit. Ooh, it's really punchy. That lemon just adds a really, really nice pop. Oh, this is so good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix everybody together with our fresh herbs. Today I have dill, I have parsley, and I have mint. And there you have it. We'll share the links to these recipes below. Tell us in the comments, what are your favorite bean recipes? Whether you're a total beginner in the kitchen or an experienced home cook, we've got lots of other video inspiration for you, including more recipes to try. Don't forget to subscribe for more Made in Manitoba recipes and stories.